Hello and welcome to MFTBT. I am Mondef, and today I would like to play with bog earth, in other words, a peat farm. Creating peat. Peat's a great source of fuel. It'll basically replace your need for coal as far as for a burning source. This is bog earth, 2 words, and placed in a circle like this with water in the middle, this will eventually age or grow, or however you want to put that, into a peat block, and the peat blocks can be dug with a shovel to give you peat. So it's a pretty easy formation. Basically it has to be next to water, and this block is next to that water through the corner. So you don't have to try to do anything fancy. This will work just great. Very efficient space design. And that's really it. Those will eventually turn into peat blocks, and you can do that manually, but manually is no fun. We want to automate. So here I've got a peat bog, and I'll plop the peat bog down. That's what it looks like. I've also got a turbary, and we'll put that down, and then a peat-fired engine. I'll put that down, and then conductive pipe, which we've played with a lot here on MFTBT. And we'll have to rearrange. I forgot a wrench this time. There we are. And lever. So this is ready. It just needs peat. And so let's fill these with their materials. This needs peat. Maybe you got this from Automated Farm. Maybe you borrowed it from a friend on a server. Or maybe you started with a cheaper engine and you upgrade to the peat-fired engine. But I do recommend that you get to a peat-fired engine at your peat farm, because once you do, this system will replace your peat in this engine, and it will also make enough peat to run several other peat-fired engines or furnaces or whatever you're going to use it for. So here we got the peat bog. The peat bog needs bog earth to operate. So we're going to give it bog earth. Now it's got this space for dirt. This is an output or a byproduct. So you don't want to put dirt in the system. In fact, if these 4 boxes get full, the peat bog won't be able to function correctly, and you won't get any peat. So that'd be bad. These have to be emptied. And then over here we have the turbary. The turbary does not have an interface. It's just a shovel. It digs out the peat once it is full. So here you can see, let's set it to day so you can see better. Here you can see it's already placing the bog earth. And you'll see in a moment here how it'll lay out those little 3x3 squares with water in the middle. You don't have to feed it water, it just takes care of it for you. So that's it. That is running operational. But of course we do need to get the items out of the turbary. But before we do that, let's go ahead and just let this finish setting up the farm in a nice little time lapse. Alright, so the peat bog has set up the whole farm. You can see this gets mined out. So this was a peat block for a moment. The turbary dug it. Now it's been replaced by the bog earth that is put inside of the peat bog. I've refilled this, which is a good idea. It takes about 2 stacks to just set up the farm. So you'll need quite a bit to start the machine and to keep it operating. And then you can see we've gotten dirt as a byproduct, and there will be peat in this turbary, which of course there's no interface for. So the only way to get it out is with a pipe. So if we pipe that out, and we give it a chest, as it gets peat, it's going to pipe that out and put it in the chest for us. Now, this creates ash as a byproduct. Ash is useful for turning peat into bituminous peat, or using it as fertilizer, or a great number of other things. And the same as some of these other machines, if you provide it with a pipe and a chest, it will pipe out the ash for you, and you don't have to worry about it. So that's pretty easy. Now, the dirt here I wouldn't worry about, at least not in a basic setup, because you're going to have to come in here to replace the bog earth. At that point, you can steal the dirt. So if you go for full automation, of course that changes, but for now, this is set up and running. This will fill with peat. This will fill with ash. And you'll need to take the peat and feed the peat-fired engine and fill this with bog earth. Those are things that we can fix in later automations, but that should give you the basics to get started with your peat farm. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on MFTBT.